Hi everybody, this is Florence from Oak Mama's channel, and you're joining me today for the Chronicles of a Suburban Farmer's Wife. So today, this is episode 2, and I'm taking you on a tour of our current farm, as I promised in the last video, which was an introduction video. If you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that we walk this journey together and you always get updates when I upload a video. And if you like this video, if this is the kind of content that you enjoy, make sure you like this video because it will be a great help to this channel. So let's get to the farm. So right now I'm standing at the entrance to our farm. It's just a small farm within, a suburban area, just where we live, and a small part of the land where we stay. And this is the gate, so let's get in. So our farm is currently on an 8th piece of land, but it's currently occupying a 5th portion of that land. So we're trying to utilize the space as much as possible. So we have some goats, we have a rabbit, we have some chicken, and we have some dogs. Those are the animals we currently have in the farm. And I'll show you just from the oldest animal in the farm, and that is the rabbit. The rabbit is actually a male. There were two initially. There was a female and a male. The female used to stay here, but the dogs actually mauled on her and she died. To do a better structure, actually we had this rabbit even before we moved here. We've had him for about 2 years now. Initially we hadn't really planned to keep rabbits, but one of our family members needed a home for his 2 rabbits, and we just thought, why not? And so we've stayed with them since that time. The female rabbit, I think, gave birth twice, but we never saw the kids. I hear that they actually eat up the kids, because all we could see was a lot of fur from her body and a lot of blood stains, but no kids. So that was really sad. Next are our puppies. Here they are. There are 2 of them. Here they are. They're actually an interbreed. They're still puppies. They're about 1 year old. So they still have more to grow. They're an interbreed between Belgian Malinois, and Bubbles. So it has been quite interesting raising them up. We got them as puppies, about 2 months old. And here they are. This guy has also done a lot of damage here in the farm. Killed some goats, killed the rabbits. They are too territorial, these ones. But they're nice dogs. Next we have the goats, and I'll start with the oldest in our farm. Not oldest in terms of age, but the one who came here first. And here is Blessing. This is a Sanine goat. We called her Blessing just because we love good things, and we like to prophesy good things upon even our animals and everything we have. Yeah, and she's a nice goat. Produces averagely. We are hoping she's in calf already since we brought her male just recently, and hopefully her milk production will get better. So this was the second goat on our dairy farm. Our first one just looked somehow like her, but is the one who was mauled by the dog. Next we have these goats with a Toggenburg Sanine goat, actually from Chogoria, and she's one of our best producers here. We call her Nyameru. There is this stereotype about Merus, which is one of the tribes in Kenya, and people think that they are angry people or easy to get angered. It's a stereotype, actually. Growing up, that's the picture I had of them until later on in my life. I got quite a number of friends who are Merus, and they're actually the opposite. Most of them that I've met that are in my circles are quite different from what I thought. And funny enough, Nyameru, we actually thought she'd be aggressive because of how big she is. But if there is one gentle goat, it is her, Nyameru. She's sometimes too timid even for her liking. Sometimes she's harassed by other goats despite her size. It's quite interesting. Currently, they are sharing this room. Before, Nyameru would be in the next room where the male goat now is. But they have to share, even if they don't like it that much. Blessing is sort of a bully. Yeah, to Nyameru. Then we have this goat. We call her Kadogo. When she came, she was so tiny for her age, too tiny for her age. We thought that maybe she was not being fed so well wherever she came from. And we somehow felt duped, comparing the amount of money we paid for her and the size that came. But we've seen some improvement over time. She's getting bigger, she's getting better. Her milk production is extremely low, especially right now. But we're trying to give her benefit of doubt and hoping that she'll be expectant. And after she delivers, hopefully her milk production will be better. So we'll keep on checking on that, and I'll keep updating you how that goes. But for sure, her body has really changed from when she came first. That's why we called her Kadogo. Kadogo means small in Kiswahili. Kadogo. Yeah. This is Jasmine too. Jasmine 2 because there was Jasmine 1. We call her Jasmine just because I love the name Jasmine, and Jasmine is white. And our first goat was called Jasmine, the one who was killed by the dogs. And so when this one came, we just thought she looks exactly like her, even though slightly bigger. Is it bigger or smaller? But it just looks like Jasmine. So that's why I decided to call her Jasmine too. These days, we also call her Mama Ellie after she gave birth to her kid. So we used to think Jasmine 2 is quite a bully because she'd always be so bullish to Kadogo. When we serve food, she always wanted to come to the side that we are serving, exchanging sides. But after she delivered, these days Kadogo can stand up for herself and is somehow like the bully. So we keep wondering, is it a goat thing that when they're expectant, the other one sort of respects that? Or is it that when they're pregnant, they get bullish? I don't know. We actually thought that she was going to give us 2 kids because of the size of her tummy. You can see how protruded it still is, yet she gave birth already. We almost did some ultrasound scans actually. Yeah, so there they are, Jasmine and Kadogo. They're quite timid, these goats. Then we have our kids. We have this guy here who's the older kid. He was born just after the mom arrived from a different farm to our farm. He was actually born a day later, and we thought how lucky we were. So we called him, not lucky but blessed, we call him Baraka. Baraka means blessing in Kiswahili. This young guy here is a very stubborn goat, extremely stubborn, but we still love him anyway. Yeah, so there he is. His mom is the one who was killed by the dog. Still sad to us, but hey, we're glad we have this guy. Yeah. He was also just recently mauled on by the same dog on his leg, but I think it's getting better. So I'll do a different video on how we gave him first aid and how the whole treatment process has been for him. We thank God he made it, not like his mom. Ellie here. Ellie is our newest add to the farm. I just showed you Mama Ellie, and we actually thought that this kid was like he had a twin. We actually thought he had a twin when he was still in his mommy's womb because of how big that pregnancy was. But this kid is a big goat. He almost is the size of Baraka, yet they're like 5 months, actually almost like 8 months apart. So it's quite interesting. He feeds really well. We are not struggling to bottle feed him. He's now 1.5 months old. We separated him from his mom, but he feeds really well on the bottle. There is a video actually where I showed how I tried to feed him one day and it was a struggle, but I think it was just because it was the first time I was doing it. But now he feeds really well. He's a really nice goat. Not as stubborn as Baraka. It's a nice one. Covering from on his leg, something hurt him over there, but he's getting better. And finally we have this male goat over here. He's a husband on hire, and we hope he'll do some good work in our farm. So we've had him for about a month, almost 2 months now. And he's a nice goat actually. He's a gentle goat. The first time I was so afraid of him and thinking that, he'll be aggressive like his dad is. Actually, there is quite a story, because his dad was the goat that came to mate with Jasmine one. That night she came out of the goat pen and was mauled on by the dog. But the dad is very aggressive. Him is quite different. Yeah. Nyameru again. Nyameru, Kadogo, and Jasmine too all came from the same area, while Blessing came from a different area. They call him Bazoo. Bazoo? We have our chicken. Currently we have 4 chicken. We used to have almost 20, but we are downscaling now, because this kind of chicken farming is quite expensive currently. Chicken feeds are too expensive right now, compared even to the eggs we enjoy from them. It's quite expensive, so it's high maintenance right now. But I could say keeping chicken has been quite fun, quite easy. We've really enjoyed it, despite ups and downs. Sometimes they fall ill, sometimes you find a chicken just dying and you can't tell why. Yeah, but so far so good, except for the high cost of it. So that's how our current farm looks like. We didn't start like this. In the beginning we just started with the chicken. Actually, we just had the rabbit at first, then the chicken, and then 1 goat, and then later we added the other goats. So far we are about a year into this. The main part of the farm here is the goats, which are dairy goats, so we do it for milk production. The chicken are just for our own use, the eggs and the meat. Yeah, but as we go on, things keep changing, things keep evolving. We'll see how it goes. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give it a big like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Next week we'll talk about how we did the structures from scratch. We have actually changed these structures a number of times, modifying this and that, about 3 or 4 times, and we'll still keep modifying even as we grow the farm. And so I'll show you how it started and how it has come up to this point. So thank you so much for joining me today, and if you have any question or comment, even about this farm or about anything you watched in this video, make sure you put it there in the comment section, and I'll be sure to see and respond to it. Okay guys, thank you, see you next week, and bye bye. So last week I did a video on how this program began and the history to this program, so make sure you catch that video. I'll link it in the description box below and somewhere up here, so make sure you check on it, so that you can just get some history if this is your first time watching. So I'm glad you're here with me today. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.